Clean. It's clean. Clean. Yep. Boy, Marcus, good throw. Nice. Whoop. All right. Easy, Zig, easy, brother, easy. Okay, Cooch.
It's not any slower, I'll let you know.
I see that, yeah, okay. I would have guessed it would have been also, you know. Okay. No, good. He said the middle's not any slower. I would have expected it to be a little slower. Yep. Yep. All right. Whoa! Clean. Huh? Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the St. Paul Cash Spiel at the St. Paul Curling Club. We're at the 8:30 draw. We had a couple technical difficulties with audio and video. Got some new guys trained in. Mark Lazar inserted himself in between us and caused a big stir. Not true. I'm joined here with Pete Westberg. Hey Pete.
Hi Chris, how you doing?
Excellent. We're covering sheet 5 today, and it's Pete Fensen versus Cameron Rittenour. The game's already started. We're in the first end.
Yeah, Pete Fensen earned the hammer for the first end, so he'll have last shot by virtue of his last shot draw.
Pretty good throw.
We have the skips mic, although I think on I think Jed is mic'd actually right now.
So the skip's name is Cameron, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Cam or Cameron, but he's from South Dakota.
All part of the act, boys. All part of the act.
South Dakota, what a beautiful state. You ever been to Custer State Park?
I have not. Well, as a kid, I think we flew through there, but I don't remember it. But my daughter was just in that area with her grandfather, and had a great time.
It's a stunning, beautiful park.
Is this ours too? We got all kinds of. Oh, look at this. We've all got it here. We got a couple of them. Looks like Jesky's using this one. Slamming it around.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like we got six sheets of curlers going on this morning.
Yep. This year we actually added a camera to sheets 1 through 3, so at the end, if the action ends here, we have the ability to flip over there and show some direct sheets. We're going to actually probably end up having a web stream on at the club level, so people will be able to see both, both sections of ice, which is nice.
Yeah, St. Paul Club's getting more high tech every year.
So the lineups here on Pete Fensen's team, the lead is Alex Fensen, the second is Mark Fenner. Normally the vice is Sean Rajeski, but he's got Jeff Isaacson playing today. And Pete Fensen's the skip from Bemidji. And the Rittenour rink is Jordan Brown as lead, Evan Workman is second, who apparently is the ice maker in Fargo. Jed Rundridge is the vice, and Cameron Rittenour is the skip.
Do you know if Jeff Isaacson is still the GM over there at the Chaska Curling?
I think so.
Center? Yeah. So taking some time off today to keep his skills at a high level.
Tonight we have Scott Belvich is going to be on the mic, and he's the ice maker there.
Yep.
He couldn't get the time off today. I don't think. I don't know if he asked, but
You might be able to get her out, Ike.
Yeah, I haven't seen Scott for a while. Since he moved over to Chaska, I don't see him as often. What a great ice maker he is.
so this seems pretty typical. It's kind of just a clear end.
Yeah, it looks like
I think that the finals were during the international here in the club. If I remember right, didn't they end at like 2 a.m. or some ridiculous time?
I watched the tape delay of it.
And Dex kicked everybody out just before the very ending.
So Pete did blank that last end, so the first end has got 0. Still 0-0 with Pete retaining hammer for the second end.
I always think this is interesting on the, at the competitive level, like at the club level. I never draw in first, but they always do. It seems like.
Yeah, once in a while they do. If they're behind, I can guarantee you they'll throw up guards. It looks like Brundage is skipping this Rittenour team, huh?
I get away back here.
Probably, he curls here, so maybe they feel like he's got
tribal knowledge.
Yeah.
Keep going. Okay, Zig.
Well, I know the ice maker here in St. Paul, Craig Zabotnik's great ice maker as well. He assured me there'd be plenty of curl in the ice this weekend, so we'll see how it pans out here.
Yeah, I heard that they flipped all the rocks.
Flipped the handles, yeah. So now Rittenour's got 2 yellows, 2 counters, and then rings, but behind the tee line. So Pete's not corner guard here, it looks like. His son delivering the stone here.
Halfway.
There's a lot of Fensens out here today.
Yes, sir.
I got one on sheet 6, 2 on sheet 5. Is there any more?
That's good enough.
Is Mrs. Fensen out there somewhere?
Good sweep, guys.
Probably a good chance, but maybe not on the ice. So I guess 4 of the 5 teams that are going to the Olympic trials in Omaha are playing this Spiel. The only one is not is
men and women, or just
men. Schuster is the only one, and I think the women's teams. I don't think there are any women's teams here. There's another event that they're all at. So there's 3.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty interesting, because there's not a lot of events before Omaha.
So Rittenour's guard is a little bit deep. Again, it's behind the tee line, so they're laying 3, but I don't know if there's a triple there, Chris, but is an easy double and roll behind the corner guard, which is really not the greatest guard. It's kind of high. It's at the 1.5 position, you'd say.
Nice sweeping technique.
There's a double at least here.
Good, coach. That boy.
So that needed to come over a little bit more to get the other one, eh?
Yeah, a lot more. I think he was trying to do that. He was trying to hold that out there and get it in front of the other
Feels like they maybe should sit down, but they
counter in the back.
happen to
Set up a jam.
Whoa. Yep.
Looks like the ice is riding good though. Looks fast. I didn't get any times yet, but
I curled on Sunday and it was fast. I don't know if it makes it,
I was practicing the other day and it was a little slow, but it was kind of humid the other day. It was rainy.
What are you practicing for these days?
Seniors. If my knee holds up. I'm trying to put off a knee replacement until
Whoa. Ike.
Yeah, they're trying to push the rock over there. Successfully, they did. So now we have a clean house, but there's one guard up front, and looks like Brenda. The strategy, Miles. Miles would have nuked that rock.
Cam. Yep, Cam. All right.
I suppose the strategy of having it all clean is good, but it's boring. Like, it seems like there should be things that matter. I guess there was things to matter, you know, clearing out those rocks and everything, but
it's just a real conservative view of the end, and you take that high guard out. I think I would have gone under it myself, but
Okay, Ike.
looks like we're set up for another blank end here.
Normal.
Today.
yeah,
Just recently got accepted into the trials for the men down in Omaha.
Yeah, I looked online, and tickets for that event are $70.
I'm going to be down there, actually. We've got friends in Omaha, so they're not curling people, but they've agreed to go to a couple games with my wife and I.
I was thinking about going. It's a week-long thing, but I was thinking about going down there for like one of the weekends.
Yeah, the weekend. I think we'll do the same.
Last night, you took the kid down to the club? Practice.
Yeah, and I was just talking to Tom O'Connor before the game. It sounds like the format is a double round robin with those 5 teams.
Oh, what does that mean?
So you play each team twice, and then they'll take the top 2 records after that and play best 2 out of 3 for the final. So there's no points involved like in previous nationals, just straight up play. Double round robin, and then a 2 out of 3 at the end for the top 2 teams.
I wonder how many times you'll play, like, a day. Twice?
Well, if they're playing all week, it's probably a pretty
Spread out?
spread out, pretty easy schedule.
Yeah. I don't know what. I've never been to the arena, but the arena looks large.
Yeah, it seats 7,000 people. I'm sure it'll be able to handle the crowds.
When I first saw that the tickets were $70 to $90, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" But
For the week,
it's
or
for the whole week? I
Yeah.
thought it was for one day.
That's
and I was
not bad.
What is this, like a rock concert?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this end is staying pretty clean, but now there's a
Right on the nose is perfect.
Rittenour rock way out in the wings.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem for a guy with Pete's talents.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, those outside ones are the most difficult. But
Yeah,
I don't
even
know
the
if he's
best
throwing
of us
something
can.
out there.
Even Pete can miss this, but pretty rare.
Came back like this and kicked the wall.
So we're going to be into the 3rd end without any scoring yet, so.
It's all right. You remember, like,
Yeah, a little tippy coming out of the hack there with that delivery. Looks like he's got a piece of the rock. He's not going to stay in, I don't think. But they haven't thrown any rocks out there. I'm sure he didn't know what the ice was.
Yeah. He probably knows what the ice is,
Yeah.
just innately.
strong in the fall, boys. Strong in the fall. Do that a little hard, eh?
Ooh. Look at this, almost a triple on sheet 4 there. Not quite.
Oh, right, nice.
It's Koivula.
Yeah. wonder if he's from Canada. This Soberin that he's playing down there, the skip, is expat Canadian, but he now lives in Denver. Real nice guy.
I've been introducing my daughter to John Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. She seems to like him.
Pretty light. That's fine. You don't need to kill yourself. I'd be a hair quicker. I thought it'd be a hair quicker. But
Nice high guard.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to put that guard up there. Found it. And
was that the last rock?
Get one.
good setup for 2 here. Let's see.
2.
Or is this his last?
I think this
one?
is the last
Ah,
round.
he's just throwing it through. Yeah.
I noticed last night when we were setting up, and this morning, I was noticing that people were throwing rocks, and they were trying to get them right over the hog line. Like, I don't know why. And I talked to Mr. Stolt about it, and he said that a lot of times when the ice is slow, they'll practice that shot because that's how they can like judge the draw weight, like the difference. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I hit that spot all the time, but not on purpose. Well, if you can't make commentary about games.
How's your game looking?
Pretty good, actually, this year. Only had one game. Played well.
I didn't think the league started yet. Did you play on Sunday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was sore that whole week, though. It was weird. I was sore in my hand, like right here, like in the
from sweeping.
From sweeping. It's just like something.
Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going.
You got some tendonitis there.
Yeah.
Okay, Zig.
So Pete elected to throw up the center guard, and that's a beauty. A couple feet short of the rings. That was Alex Fensen.
It's a lead that always feels good.
Well, you put a lot of pressure on the other team when you put the lead rocks in the right spots, man. I think people really underestimate how important that lead is.
Mine's good.
So it looks like he's going to draw behind. Looks a little light to me, though. I could be wrong.
Better. Yep.
It's hanging out there, but this looks like a pretty good stone.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see.
These rocks are not.
When I said a little light, I meant by
fraction of an
1 inch over the button.
So Pete's just calling for Alex to curl down and freeze up to that one on the center.
Yeah, now why would you freeze to it as opposed to like popping it out?
Well, he doesn't have the hammer, so a freeze onto this one is a good shot. I mean, it really puts a lot of pressure on the other team to deal with it. But he came up short, so now there's 2 guards on that.
Yeah. So a freeze, then it would, it's hard to move that one out.
Yeah, if you can hold the other team to 1 point without the hammer, that's a pretty decent end. In this case, if you freeze up to that center one on the pot, the other team's going to have to do something with it. They're going to have to tap it, and then the game's really on. Then there'll be a lot of rocks in play.
Yep. Yep.
So Rittenour is going to hit this guard. It looks like, yeah, they're trying to come around and lay down to their own, but ended up ticking the top guard and laying, just touching the 12-foot. So now Mark Fenner's trying to hit this yellow one. Just going to chip that one out.
So would there have been an angle there to get both of those out?
Yeah, that's what he was trying, but
it seemed pretty light.
It was a little wide. Didn't come up as much as I thought.
So this is a good spot to be in for yellow.
Yeah, very good. Those guards up on top there are offset too. That's always tougher to run them back when they're offset like that.
Mine's good.
This one looks a little light. Excuse me. This is going to be short of the rings.
I really hope that this is a button shot, because when I said it was light, that's what happened. But
okay, you're fine.
That's a good guard, though.
Yeah, that is good.
Now Pete could. He's probably going to try and rip some of that stuff up on top there. Get rid of a few rocks.
Having watched Pete play, I'm imagining he's not going to try.
He will do it. He'll get rid of a couple. He could get rid of all 3 of these if he hits that yellow one just right. This one won't be light.
Oh. Ike. Hard, Ike. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Well, that's going to work out just fine.
Yeah, that's a great rock. Didn't quite hit that exactly where he wanted it, but you got rid of 2 of them and then pushed the other guard into the house.
That works. Good.
You see, the Fensen rink is sponsored by Corbel, one of my favorite brandies.
They're not from Wisconsin, though. They're from Bemidji.
Why would Corbel be sponsoring a Minnesota team?
Yeah, what's wrong with those
What
guys?
are they, nuts?
What I used last year? Which color? So I can't even. I did it. Oh, that's got a EQ head on it.
Yeah, we used to live in Wisconsin and fell in love with the old-fashioned, brandy old-fashions over there.
I was listening to some discussion, you know, like the McCormick rink is sponsored by Red Elephant Chocolates, and they're from Wisconsin. And some guy read a description about where Red Elephant, what the name means, and they described all these wonderful things that are red, and one of them was the cherry, because it's a Wisconsin chocolate company, but a cherry in old fashions.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah,
how
you gotta
true
have
to
that.
form. That's a nice guard.
So whenever we go out to dinner, my wife and I, she asks about whether they make old fashions, and this one restaurant, the waitress said, "Oh yeah, we make these beautiful Wisconsin old fashions," and my wife just holds up her hand and says, "You had me at Wisconsin."
We on Stonecast we interviewed Dick and Paula Arnold, and they were talking about some old time, like back in the day, curling in Wisconsin, and they'd go to parties where they'd have punch bowls of old fashions. Like you just scoop up an old fashioned, and I was like, wow. And then they'd go curl.
And then they've got the steak tartare over there, or they call it many different names, but we used to call it wildcat, so it's raw meat you're eating. Quite popular over there. It used to be. I don't know if it still is. But.
I really like having the mic on the skips. You can get a little bit of.
Yep.
You can get a little bit of color of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's excellent.
The best person I've ever had on mic is Andrew's dad. Andrew's dad is phenomenal on the mic. Last time he was soliciting donations to his team. He said for $20 you could get a patch on somewhere on his body.
Tattoo.
Oh, apparently the junior team needs some cash too. So, all right, $20.
Mike. We'll just play it all the way.
That I knew Bill was sitting next to me. That's kind of why I said it, but he was very entertaining last year.
No, Pete's looking for the double here.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get it. It's a good shot, though. Roll it right over there.
That has that same effect as you're talking about at the very beginning, although it's exposed. But
it's kind of on the wrong side, too. He's got the guard.
We just want to move this an inch. No?
I don't know what the rules are as far as I think Andrew's in the high performance program, and I don't know what the rules are as far as getting sponsorships and things like that. I don't know. I'll have to clarify that. I have a lot of time. I'm sure people around here would know.
Oh, I'm sure they're funded pretty well from the USCA, huh?
Yeah.
So now you've got yellow counting on the button, and Pete's rock just rolled right over on top of it. So it looks like they're just trying to come down and corner freeze this. The Brundage rink, Rittenour rink.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep.
This thing's curling hard now, but it looks like a pretty decent shot. Yeah, that's a very good shot. The angles are set up very well for the Rittenour rink here to score a multiple. See, I wonder if Pete will try and guard this mess now. So you got yellow back of the button, red just about touching the button, and yellow on top of the red one. So yellow's laying 1, which is Rittenour.
If he double guards, if he double peels the guard, instead of making it a guard against a million. Whack that, but it's going to leave him. Yeah, that can't make it any better if I hit it. The kid over there, I moved to here. He's still a double for him. Kind of like draws. Well, I kind of like going
that discussion about funding got me arm wrestled into going off mic and clarifying things. So apparently the funding for an Olympic years is really tight. So it's a lot of dad funding.
Yeah, I wonder why it's tight for Olympic year.
on this side of center line. Just touching the line like this.
Well, maybe they're concentrating on other things. I mean, they're not in the they're not in the. So maybe the funding is going towards the national team, the Olympic trials and that sort of thing. The attention's not there.
On this side,
Yeah.
You can tell though, like last year at the juniors, you had a whole range of people, but you could tell like Andrew's rink was pretty interesting just listening to them talk, because you can tell that they play a lot, they travel a lot, they're like at a kind of different level, like they know what the travel deals are. And they are actually, when we were covering them, they were muting the mic when they were playing. And Mark was saying that he actually have training on how to use the mic, because back in the day, you'd get in trouble for swearing. And I'm like, I'd be surprised if any of those kids even know how to swear, knowing their parents. All right. Sorry for the diversion. Where are we here?
Well, it's like I mentioned, it looked like, yeah, it changed his mind. Pete was thinking about throwing a guard up here to just protect his second point. But now he's talking about coming in and freezing to the counter, which is just behind the tee line.
Yeah. I'm going to try and throw you the same.
I think I would have stuck to his first choice.
Yeah. Like what I threw you the last couple
So
ends.
does he want to try to tap his in?
No, I think he's trying to freeze to that back yellow one, just behind the tee line.
Well, it'd be a heck of a shot if he did it.
But this is risky, I think.
Yeah, you could hit yours out, eh? If you're too close.
Alex, hard.
Or not yours, but
Oh, you know what? He's
tapping the yellow.
he's trying to tap the yellow one. That's a lot of weight.
Roll a shooter.
Yeah, but couldn't that tap the... Yeah, that's what I'd worry about.
So I'm not sure what that did for him, but he's a lot smarter than I am. So now Rittenour's laying 2.
Still through the house, almost.
Did you watch any of the Lynx game?
I did, yeah, from start to finish.
Did you watch the post-game commentary? Or
Not
just
much.
Ooh, I'm having a little
where
trouble
they
with
interviewed like the coach and things?
No.
So at the end of that game, when it was irritating a little bit that whoever that player is from the Spark, L.A.
Their star?
Yeah, Candace Parker.
Candace Parker.
So
yeah.
she comes out of the timeout and she tells the ref, "Hey, we're not going to foul."
Yeah.
So then they wouldn't call anything. So there was like,
Wow.
so they caught up like they got like 8 points in like 12 seconds or something.
Yeah, that
It
was an
within
exciting
3.
finish.
And they asked Cheryl Reeves afterwards on the national, and they said, "Oh, were you sweating it? Were you feeling stressed?" And she said, "No, that was all in the plan. We wanted to let them get caught up so we could rip their throats out there and just demoralize them." I was like, "Wow."
You know, and I actually did listen to that part. Yeah,
I thought that was entertaining. She's funny.
She's
sometimes
she's a great coach.
She's on KFAN every once in a while.
She's a great coach, yeah, but she's got some great players. So
Yeah.
I would probably look like a good coach coaching that group.
Yeah.
So the Rittenour rink is trying to decide what to do here. They're laying 2 with Pete 3rd and 4th. So Brundage is trying to just make sure he doesn't screw up this deuce, or maybe even more.
Yeah, it seems like the simple thing would just to throw it up and, put it in the top ring there, but I guess Pete could come down on that, bounce off that red.
Just
Or
hit this, just roll into this. Sit here.
Nice double over there.
Yeah, on sheet 6.
Wilbur.
They don't have the hammer, though, it doesn't look like. Andrew Stopera's got the hammer. It'd be fun to see that Stopera rink stick together for like 15 to 20 years. They could win a world championship or two, I would think.
As long as we're like here, so then if he hits this, nuts it here, then we can just like go.
So Brundage is still trying to decide what to do here, taking quite a bit of time.
Yeah, we don't. This isn't a timed event, I don't think. So they can take all the time they want.
Unlike the big competitions where you're under the time clock.
But we can judge them.
Yeah.
So they have that going against them.
Draw. Half under. You like this?
So the Rittenour rink still discussing whether they like this shot. I think it's still up in the air.
Give him a triple, get out of it.
I think he's trying to hit this second counter for Pete Fensen and then hit and roll over and budge his counter over a little bit, but he might set Pete up for a triple.
I think that I seem to remember. This is not related, but Koivu, I think it might be from Thunder Bay.
Hurry, guys.
We'll play off it.
Come on. He's too light. Now he's just going to try and tap his own now. He's going to plan B. You know, maybe that's the shot they called. I don't think so. I think they were trying to tap that red one back, but it curled, over curled.
Make the double and give him 2. Got to be a little careful we don't kill this one. Leave him a nose double for 3 over there. Although it might.
So Rittenour is now laying 3, but Pete's got
pretty exposed.
A lot of options here to remove a couple of them. You know, if he hits us on the nose and makes a double, it'll be tough for those guys to curl in here and get another counter.
Just a double. Nose hit.
Well, we've got to watch for. Well, I guess it doesn't make a difference for this. I was going to say we'd watch for his leg kick.
Yeah, this is a hit now, so let's see if he does it. Can't really see it.
Yeah, hard.
Nope.
Hard!
He's narrow.
Yeah.
Hard! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So now with that, you got one of them out of there, but now there's an easy draw for 3 here. Pete got a little tight on that, called on the sweepers right away.
Yep. Good thing he's got that point up on the board.
Yeah. So Jed Brundage in the hack, getting set to deliver a stone in for his 3rd point. Still doing the tuck. You don't see a lot of guys doing the tuck anymore, but Jed is one of them.
So they didn't give him that much broom, but I think you were mentioning earlier that he doesn't put a lot of rotation on it.
He does not.
Beauty.
You know, on certain kinds of ice that doesn't hurt you, but on swingy ice, if you don't put some firm rotation, you're going to have a problem. So he was successful with that draw. The score is now 3-1 for the Rittenour rink.
Yeah.
Good shot by Jed Brundage. 3-1 after 4.
So it should be interesting to see how the strategy changes now.
Yeah, Pete will have to be a lot more aggressive, slightly more aggressive, maybe not. But
Good shot.
They're going to try to break up the front of the house there. Not much else to do, I guess.
a lot of rocks in front of the house on sheet 6 too. Any part of that rock behind the garden. Doesn't look like it to me. I've got a pretty good vantage point here up in the second deck here. So Jeff Isaacson with the delivery.
Yep. Yep. Good. Hard.
Quite a bit of room around this guard. He's trying to just tap it.
Too much ice. Okay, Ike.
He actually pushed that yellow rock into a pretty nice position for themselves. You can see it through that
Too much ice.
gap between those two front guards.
Good enough. Weight's great. Yeah, right. Yeah, I just tighten up the ice a little. I guess it's closer. Even if you just.
So it looks like Stapera's going to get one on the fourth end. So they're leading 3-1 now. It's just a little heavy with that tap up. So the Rittenour rink down to the last two stones, I believe, and Jed Brundage with the delivery here is just trying to take out a wide open Fensen stone on the left side of the rings. Quite a bit of weight there. I don't think he's going to stick around. But, oh, yeah, he won't. So now they're laying two.
We had to restart the stream. The audio died.
Oh.
A couple people.
Around from about there.
Actually, the phones were ringing off the
A little
hook.
more on your first.
I heard him, yeah.
There you go. That's good.
When did it die? First end.
Yeah, as soon as we started talking about the Moulin
Snakes.
Rouge and the snakes, that's when the audio.
The FCC cut us off.
Yeah. It is interesting. YouTube is like last year we played a
Put it just top
song from Herb Albert, and within a minute we got an email from YouTube. They had identified the audio, they matched it to that, and they're like, "You're playing copyrighted."
Oh.
And then they labeled it as copyrighted. It wasn't a
Is that
huge
right?
deal, but
Huh.
yeah, I thought it was like, wow, technology.
Maybe they have software that does that automatically.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Or a lot of
There's not some guy.
a lot of employees listening. Oh, I've heard this before.
So Pete just trying to draw one in here, it looks like. Which is, I think, is a good move. Looks a little heavy. Sweepers are just watching it.
Yep, watching it go through.
It's going to be in the back of the house at a minimum, maybe out. Just biting the back 12. Pete won't be happy with that.
Well, you know, Pete was up here last night and he had 2 beers. You know, could have been hangover or something.
Though I doubt that.
He's a pretty nice guy. He seems.
Oh, he's a great guy. A very fierce competitor.
Fighting the top 4. Yeah, we want to make sure we're just deep enough where if they come through that hole and try to.
So now, with Pete in the back of the house, Rittenour is still laying 2, but without Hammer.
On this part of the line, on the side?
This will be
Wherever it ends up, I mean, it's not going to curl.
Jed Brundage's last shot. He's probably just trying to throw up a top guard here, but out count the one in the back of the house. He'd be laying 3. A little bit of a push on that delivery. You know those guys that slide out there with that broom in front of them? I always worry that they're going to foul the stone after they release it. And on this case, he came really close. That broom was probably a 1/4 inch away from that rock.
All the way back.
So this is wasn't the best shot. He ends up third count, but way in the back of the house, leaving Pete a chance to redeem himself with a score of 1 here with the same shot, just not quite as heavy, obviously. Must be a fast tractor. They're both deep in the house there.
Yep. On Sunday I noticed that it seemed pretty fast.
There's that leg kick again. See
that was a pretty aggressive leg kick.
That was like a beaver flopping his tail on the water there.
Yeah. Well, he looks like is he trying to hit and roll, or what's going on here?
Whoa, it's heavy.
No.
He's got it. Good draw by Pete.
Good eye, guys. Good eye.
So I don't know if he got one there or if yellow got one there. We'll find out shortly.
Let's see in the replay here, the tape delay.
It's close.
The people that are watching saw that at the same time, and then they're going to hear it 20 minutes later, or 20 seconds later.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
So he did get count there. So it's 3-2.
Yep.
This Violet down here with Andrew, I wonder, is he from Seattle? Yeah.
Just inside half.
There's a lot of Violets out there. One of the famous curling families, the Violets, Fensens, Stalperas, Linsas. Listening. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Is that what your wife says to you?
No. She never listens to me. No, she does.
Gotta be inside half. Okay, high spine, just put it on the center. On the center line.
So being down 3-2 without the hammer,
keep going.
What would you?
Good eye, guys.
Well, it's later in a game, so they have to get a little aggressive here. So they're trying to throw up center guards. That one's is fine as long as the next one's a little bit tighter in the same line.
Like this? There's no guard.
Do you think he wanted it that high?
You know, I didn't hear the call. If you're trying to steal, having one guard high and one mid-range or low is not a bad strategy.
My Sunday skip likes those really high guards like that. When you're behind, he thinks that you can sneak a lot behind it. I usually can't throw them because I'm tired at the end of the game. I tend to throw heavy when I'm tired. Oh, looks pretty light.
I think he's trying to throw up a corner guard, but yeah, you're right. He's a little light.
Yeah, I thought he was, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I thought he was indicating, maybe he was debating getting it in the house.
This is going to end up in about the 2 position. So not too bad.
Yep.
Oh, he's getting that,
Good.
what you were saying, the high and the mid?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Perfect. Pete says, I agree.
You probably feel a certain kinship to him having the same name and everything.
Pete? Yes.
Pete.
Yeah, Pete and I are old acquaintances. We used to compete against each other for decades, and I can't say I'm on the right side of the win column there.
Just to update scores on Sheet 1, Craig Brown is up 5-2. Looks like that's in the 6th end. Sheet 2, Alex Leichter is up 4-2. That's also, that looks like that's in the 5th end.
So now
Sheet 3, Todd Burr is up 4-3 over LeClaire, and that looks like that's in the 6th end. Sheet 4, tied up in the 6th end between Sobring and Cuevla. And sheet 6, looks like it's 3-1 into the 5th end for Stapera. Which is nice because I was looking on the Curling Zone website, and we're ahead of them.
very good.
Technology does not always win, except in Terminator.
So now
Oh,
Pete trying to take advantage of those 2 guards, but behind the tee line, so not ideal, but now they got 3 rocks straight in a line.
yeah, nice lineup.
Looks like Jed's going to elect to smash a few of these rocks here.
Good throw. That's a pretty good throw. Take that every day.
I think I'd go after that top red one, though. He might get the back. So that didn't work out for him.
Yeah,
He's got an opportunity to put another one in here, even better position. Yeah, top 4.
that almost seemed like it was too complex, you know, like sometimes just the simple clean it up. Just take that top one out.
He was trying to double off his yellow one, but he was narrow. So now Pete's going to come down and put one on the top 4, and he's going to be in good command of this end. Although it is early.
Out. Clean it out. Top 4, guys. Line's pretty good now. Go.
They're not going to be quite top 4.
Go. Keep going. Nice pair, Marcus.
Going to be top
Good
8,
guys.
which is not bad.
Nice. That's pretty good. They're lined up.
Nice symmetry.
So now he's going to get that top one. Hard to double these rocks that are exactly in a row here without leaving the shooter right in the middle.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like you could take that top one off, but it would just stick there, and then it's
You
not that
haven't
good.
you haven't gained much.
Yep.
Straight.
No, he's going to be a little off center. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, so now he leaves that center guard in place. Now Pete will guard it up again.
What was Pete's team? He's got, as far as nicknames go, he calls Alex Al,
Gooch.
Ike Gooch.
I think he was saying
What?
Gooch, or maybe Koosh. Koosh?
Gooch.
A lot of nicknames out there.
It's
Do
kind
you have
of
any nicknames?
me?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Let's get
Come on,
one
boys,
going
get
here
the
for
weight
you.
right, and the line will be good. Keep going. Go. Keep going. That'll do. Good sweep,
In
guys.
high school, everybody used your last name, so I was always listening. And I noticed that when I see my high school friends, like nobody does that anymore, but high school friends, they all call me listening, which is like, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was really young, my nickname was Weiss.
Weiss?
Only a few people know that, but
Oh, now
more
now
people know it,
8
yeah.
people know
If
it.
you happen to just peel the yellow, we're still guarded.
yeah, my brother and I call each other Weiss, but and then later on I was known as Big Daddy.
My mom used to call me Whiny Bickerson when I was a kid. I always thought that was real supportive. There's probably some truth to that, though.
Hey, like to get it just past this one.
So Rittenour tried to hammer the top guard and get a double, which they failed to do. I wonder why Pete's trying to guard this side. The other side is wide open.
I thought he was trying to draw it behind that 8-foot one.
He's probably trying to put one on the button here.
Al, clean it.
Yeah, there was some rule they were talking about if you they want to make it so that
Touching 4 foot.
if you get it on the button,
Line's good.
you get 2 points.
Go, then go.
No.
No, there was
Go, Al, keep going.
there was an
You're good,
experimental
boys, keep
rule
going.
there.
This
Go,
is
go,
not
go,
going to be
go,
on the
go,
4
go.
foot, but it's top 12.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good
that's
sweep,
good.
fellas.
Touch an 8.
Good boy. Ike, good pair.
But the other side is wide open. They could.
It always feels good when
Does
you
the
get
job,
two.
Al.
As a thrower, you get 2 good rocks, like they're right where they're supposed
Yeah,
to
we
be.
had about 6 inches ice,
Yep.
more ice.
Gives you a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah, it makes you feel good about sweeping too.
Oh,
You're thinking about it. You're starting at one end and you got 100 and
yeah, even if
roughly
they get
135 feet to
or
deliver a
better,
stone
just
within a
that.
couple inches of where you want it.
better.
It takes some skill.
And some daring,
Yeah.
and a
And
little
some
bit
sweeping.
and a little bit of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're
A little bit of crazy.
You just hear that? They said they're not getting a crazy something.
That's what I was thinking. It might be too late. I mean, if we miss this now, we might not have a shot. We might just go in like right here. We have nowhere to draw. We have nothing. We might just have to make this one now. Who are you like? Oh, come all the way down to that one.
The Rittenour rink's discussing whether they should just draw down into the house here versus hit the guards.
That Jordan Brown, who was just talking to, looks like he's a bruiser.
Yeah.
I definitely want him on my team, not on the other team, if I was in a bar fight.
Yeah, he'd be a good guy to have in a bar fight.
It is true,
on your
though.
side.
Like they were saying, like you miss this one, you might not get another opportunity to get out of this.
Yeah, because Pete just replaced the guards and could end up stealing multiples. So coming in here, I think, is the right move. The top of the button here is not a bad shot.
Stone is cast.
Line's fine.
Line's apparently fine.
Might be a little heavy. They're not
Yeah,
touching it.
it does look heavy.
Well, even if he comes down to the back one, that's not bad.
It'd be better in front, though.
You're not gonna. You don't want to hit that guard there. They just missed that guard. It's a good shot. I think the best shot would have been the freeze, but they had to sweep it to get by that top guard.
So I didn't see where he put the broom.
Pete's just going to come down and try and freeze that one now, which is a great shot. Pete's been struggling a little bit with draw weight today. It's early in the
Put
season.
it right on it, and if we're able, Zig, you finish it and try and get it across the nose. 'Cause
Zig.
we'll line it up past our back one. Same speed going this way.
The ice crew was up late last night, shaving. I think that they,
Oh, last night?
yeah, I think that they did five shaves. So they should be in great shape.
It should be. They take great pride on the ice making here in St. Paul.
Right on the button.
This looks a little
Go,
light.
guys,
Yeah,
go.
that's what I was thinking. But it is.
Go,
Yeah,
go,
it's carrying.
go, go.
It's carrying.
Go!
Got some young
Go,
sweepers
go.
there. It is going to be a little light though.
Well, I thought that was going to go a little further. Are you?
Are you Tucker? That's what. All right. Well.
What's the best we can do with that? Right?
Got an interesting control panel there.
Yeah, it's I can control the audio board over there from the iPad, so I can.
You can just mute me out, can't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. You do?
I can.
Start talking about that Moulin Rouge again, you probably.
I turned the volume up on that. What else did you see in Paris? We went to we went to the Picasso Museum. There's a Picasso Museum, which was really interesting. And it was talking about his first wife. Apparently, he had a lot of wives, mistresses, and stuff. But they showed his first wife, and then he fell out of love with her, or something happened that, and that's when his art shifted into these like grotesque figures that don't look like normal paintings, you know, like. But you could see they had all these pictures of her, who he still like was in love with, but they weren't together. You could see like he got angry, and you could see the anger in the pictures. Which was pretty interesting. Like just because the pictures made her look more and more grotesque and disfigured. There's one painting though in that museum that Ruby loves. It's of these two fat women naked on a beach. And Ruby was just like, I love that picture. She goes, I want that in our house. And I was like, I don't know if we can afford it.
You're going to have to give Ruby some paint so she can start dabbling. Yeah, we went to Versailles to see the Palace of Versailles, which is quite impressive. It's where the French monarchy lived for a while. They moved out of Paris down to Versailles, which was quite controversial at the time, but they did it.
I heard, I didn't have a chance to go there, but I heard that when you arrive there, that just walking to it, the sheer magnitude is impressive. Like when you like go around a corner or something, you just see this impressive structure.
Yeah, it's really really amazing. We got a private tour of the bedrooms and the mistresses' bed.
What is you with all these private tours? You know, do you need me to come along with you? I could be a valet, perhaps.
Well, you get what you pay for. We paid quite a bit of money for these private tours. But
Can we get a tick?
so yeah, this is a case where the rotation, I think, hurt Jed again.
Or maybe the lack of weight.
Yeah, I think he was trying to end up a little bit further out there to cover the draw.
Have you seen the movie Midnight in Paris?
Who's in that?
It is Owen Wilson.
I don't believe so.
It's a pretty interesting movie. I think it might be a Woody Allen movie. I'm not sure. But he's in Paris, and he's a writer, an American, and he gets somehow, like at night, he gets transported back in time and spends time with like Hemingway and all the great writers of that era.
Oh, no, I'm
Stein.
quite sure I haven't seen that.
But it's just kind of fun.
That's kind of an unusual role for Owen Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah, Owen Wilson's the one with the broken nose, right?
Yeah, the twisty nose.
He's just himself. I don't know. He's.
So Pete Fensen trying to come down to this yellow one, but it's
a little
not
wide.
moving. So he's got a lot more rotation than Jed did, and this is going to swing. End up second count. So I would imagine Mr. Brunage is trying to figure out where to put the broom here with this slow rotation here.
I can see that, George.
Could he do a kind of a little heavier draw and try to hit that red?
Use that as backing, yeah. So he's currently laying one, but
I suppose though there is a risk about that, because if for some reason, well, he wouldn't hit it that hard.
This is a fairly simple shot, but still, it's the
last
one.
shot though that he had, I think, was supposed to be fairly simple too. it's the same shot. I guess this time he can err. If he has the broom set right, he can err and make it a little heavier.
We'll see what he does here.
This end
like
played out just like you said, with the high guard, medium guard.
But it didn't turn out for the guy that had those guards. Looks like he's got plenty of weight here.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
He looks fine. He's fine. Very nice. Two for the Rittenour rink, so they take a commanding 5-2 lead here.
That was a really fun end. That was
a lot of strategy involved there. Some execution issues, but a lot of rocks in play.
Just update the scores. On sheet 1, looks like they're on the 6th end, and Craig Brown is still up 5-2. Sheet 2, they're also on the 6th end, and Leichter is up 4-2. Looks like it tied up there on sheet 3. They're going into the 7th end. I can't quite see if that's accurate, but according to 4-4 in the going to the 7th. On sheet 4, it looks like Daryl Sobering went ahead. Looks 5-3 in the 6th or the 7th end. And then on sheet 6, looks like they're in the 6th end, and it's 3-1 Andrews to Paris. The last end must have blanked. Ooh, nice, right through the port. Beauty. All right, so Rittenour throws the first yellow rock.
Hopefully they're going into the house here.
Looks like it weight-wise.
Yep. Coming up short here would have.
Real hard, Jordan.
Not be good for him.
Don't stop. Keep going.
Really?
Yep. Keep going.
So he ends up just touching the 8.
That seems like a pretty nice shot to me.
That's a good shot. Yeah, you don't want to be short when you're up 5-2. So Fensen's going to put up some corner guards here. He needs at least a deuce.
He's got to be disappointed about that last end.
Yeah,
he had it set up so nice.
He had that set up beautifully.
Although that one side, he had everything on the right from the way we're looking at it. That whole side was empty on that. It's too bad if it wasn't a little bit. Although if it was a little bit more exposed, then they would have just ripped those out.
Should probably try and tap this one in the house up now. That'd be a good shot.
Yeah, just pile them up in the front.
Yep. Nothing short.
Not that there's anything wrong with being short. In stature.
Over curls here a little bit, but
kind of sets it up.
Successfully tapped that by. He had perfect weight there.
Now it sets it up to double those out, though, right?
Yeah, there's a double there.
Could you double that out? You probably couldn't double it out and roll under your guard, or could you?
That would be tough.
Because of the weight, right?
You'd end up jamming on that one on the back.
Looks like he's. See, can't tell if he's by the guard. Oh, yeah, he's by it.
This looks like a great rock.
Yeah, it looks like a nice shot.
Now he's.
So Alex is his son, right?
Yep.
It's got to be fun to curl with your son.
And then the Fensen over here, is this Graham?
Yep.
Wonder how old he is. He looks pretty young.
Well, I can tell you that. I got all the stats.
Got their height, weight, and ages.
I don't know if I have those kind of stats. Wow. That guy's got the tuck too.
Yeah, look at that. 2 Tuckers on the same team. I used to know a guy in Wisconsin when I was really young. His nickname was the Portage Plumber. He doesn't curl anymore, but he was about 275 pounds, and he did the tuck, and I just was afraid every time he delivered a stone that his knee was just going to explode.
Well, as it turns out, I don't have that stat. Maybe we can find someone who knows. Here, I'll find out. Graham is 18.
18.
Stop. Control.
His curling zone picture makes him look significantly younger.
Well, look at him. Yeah, he looks really young.
But you know, as soon as you see someone who's under 30, that's from my experience, they all look
young, yeah. And how's your business doing, Chris?
That's been kind of an interesting year. It's going all right. Yeah. We have a lot of changes, and it's interesting. We hired last year. I hired a sales guy, and then we hired a scrum master this year who was basically in charge of process improvement. And we've been doing a lot of process improvement, and it's put a lot of pressure on a lot of people, and it's been pretty interesting because we've had change in staff, and one thing that's interesting is the sales guy's really aggressive as far as, like, I'm from Minnesota, I'm pretty laid back, so if I have like a client that I think might be having negative feelings, I just let it go, and I'm like, I'm just going to work harder. But he wants to confront them, so there's a lot more like, well, let's talk to them and figure out exactly what it is. Which means that you like confront the stress a little bit, and so that's increased some stress level. But it has exposed some things that need to be worked on, and we worked on those, and I think we're going to get good results from it.
I see you have a banner up there that says Terrapin Curling.
Terrapin Curling, yep.
People are going to think you're a curling company, curling supply company.
I know. People are like, what's the point of that? And I don't know. It's silly. But I figure, people contribute to the curling club here in a lot of different ways. So you got to contribute how you can, and I'm able to do that.
Well, you've done more than your share.
And things like that, sponsoring some teams. Yeah, we actually are sponsoring Todd Burr's team this year.
Oh, are you?
Kind of. I mean, the answer is yes, but it wasn't like an official. I happened to be up in the Blaine Club practicing when John Benton got the news that he was super excited. So they were sitting in the bar having lunch. They weren't drinking, but it was during the day, and I said, well, if there's anything I can do to help you with your nationals thing, and he said, well, actually. So.
Yeah, that's.
It's pretty exciting.
I used to curl with Todd and John and Tom O'Connor.
Stompin' Tom.
Stompin' Tom. So I'm pulling for him.
I don't really know Todd very well, but I talk to him, quite a bit. I mean, he seems like a pretty nice guy.
Really flatline guy. He's perfect demeanor for a skip. He's just flatline. If you've heard that expression.
Yeah, usually in
nothing bothers him.
Usually in the ER.
Yeah. Well, he's got a pulse, but but I think in terms of pure curling and in terms of U.S., he's got to be one of the best players in the country.
Just normal like this.
So Pete was trying to.
Which turn do you like?
Obviously, he's trying to get a deuce or more, or he put up a corner guard, and it's still there, but there's.
Did it get moved over?
No, I don't think so. It's just one red counter in the house and 3 yellows, and now the red one's going to be gone here. Now yellow's lane 4, but there's a lot of rocks to curl down to and freeze and cause Rittenour rink, a lot of problems.
I never feel comfortable in these situations. Like, you know, you said you can draw down there and freeze, but like, and I know when you're behind, you're supposed to do that and get a bunch of rocks, and you can kind of, but I just don't know how to maneuver them to actually have a good benefit from that.
Well, in this case, Pete doesn't have a choice, but it'd be best if those yellow ones were behind the tee line, and it looks like there's maybe just one behind the tee line. But see, you can see he's holding his broom where he wants it to end up. But they really don't want to tap this. It looks like it's going to tap it a little bit. He's going to hit that outside one. That's a really good shot. So now you look at that rock, how do you get that out of there? Pretty tough. Just hit it on the nose and then get it on the next one.
Kind of see here at the look like they're all lined up on the tee line.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to hit this on the nose. Jed's first rock.
Yep.
Oh, he's narrow. Oh no, that's actually perfect. He hits it right on the nose. He looked kind of tight at first, but
his delivery comes out straight, and then he gives it a little.
Yeah, most people kind of give it a little positive push towards the stick, but
I've noticed in practice this year that my my out turns when I do that sail.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't figured out why, but I practiced enough that I got the consistency down to know that that particular shot is not working well, as opposed to just not being, you know, tuned up.
You may not be sliding at the stick, but next time we're down in the club together, we'll take a look at your delivery.
We'll fix that. Are you curling the McCann this year?
I hadn't thought about it.
I've already been recruited. Now that I'm over 40.
Oh, the McCann. Yes, I am playing on that. I'm sorry.
I curled next to you. I curled next to you. That's the first time that I actually saw your senior team, like, while I was on the ice.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was really fun because you guys had some great shots, and but we did.
Oh, and we won that last year, you mean?
Did you win?
I think so.
All I know is I didn't win, and that's, if I don't win, I don't pay attention.
I think we did win last year.
We got a free entry because Dennis drew to the button.
So now Pete's trying to come down and freeze to the yellow one. On top of the looks like he's going to be a little short to where he wants to be. Huh. Can you tell if yellow's countdowner or red?
I didn't think I was quite that short.
Looks like red is.
It's like yellow.
What? This one right here?
Got to get my other glasses on.
Well, here, now you just walked. Well, maybe yellow on the right.
Well, they might be laying two, actually. I don't know.
Kind of, to me, it kind of seems like if you're down this far, if you're not clearly sitting two, you're kind of a problem. Oh, looks like Wilbur scored 3 on Stopera.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
4-3. Brown over on sheet 1 is up 6-2.
Say that again. Brown is.
On sheet 1 over there is up.
He's up. He's up
6-2.
6-2.
Yeah.
Just line shot. As long as it's over, you want to. Yeah, you want to guard the center, right? Top south here. Yeah, this side of the center. Guard.
So it looks like sheet 3, Bob Leclerc just scored 1, and they're going into the 8th.
So I get 7
With Burr
to
down 1.
5 to 4. Huh?
So Burr has the hammer, so that seems like that's a good spot.
Oh, Burr's down.
Yeah, down 1 though, but he has the hammer.
Well, look at that. They scored 4, 5, 6, and 7. Leclerc must be ex-Canadian.
Why do you say that?
Just a guess. If he's from Arizona,
Yeah.
a lot of Canadians down there.
Don't just stiff it.
So on our sheet 5, Jed trying to guard his counter there. Or we're not real sure whose count, but
Yeah, that's perfect, all right. Can they even draw out of there? Get some good swing. Got to get a little carvage, don't we?
They're looking for carvage.
Nothing.
looks like we're
That's all
down
I
to Pete's
have.
last stone here.
Well. Oh yeah, it doesn't drag, and I don't have enough to chip it in here, do I?
Seems like you could, maybe not, but it seems like you, from here, it seems like you could hit that outside yellow and roll in. Like if you
Yeah, out turn across the face, I could probably
Yeah,
make this,
that's-
but this one just spins.
That's
right to there
exactly
anyway,
what I was thinking.
Right, even if I'm.
If you want to, can't really see much on
Right,
the
it's just
video.
going closer to the button. That's all. So try and get it right there.
So could you hit on this side,
Did I-
or like draw into that, hit off
that
across the
curl?
face and roll in underneath?
I don't think so. There's not enough room, I don't
I
think.
almost need
Could
to.
you drive that
I probably have to.
that
throw it.
8-foot
Where-
red back?
Where we were last time?
You might be able to do that. You can only see about 3
Oh, you know
quarters of
what?
it.
So,
My video is
does
behind.
this get us by here?
It's a little different. The guard, there's a guard up there now.
He could hit that red one back.
Right.
Okay.
That would be a really tough shot, though.
Well, if anybody could do a tough shot.
I think he's just trying to draw on her and try and sneak 1 point or cut him to 1. And you know, and
Got a skinny that
we can't really
one
tell
and
whose
through.
count there. It might be Pete's counting 1 here.
I think he is, if I look at it. But it seems like it'd be really easy to remove that. Well, no, there's a guard up there.
We should have these cameras on here.
Yeah. They're on. This is a process getting everything set up. So next time I'll make sure that those are on.
That's closer. Whoa!
Oh, it kind of looks like he is going to try to
Close! Whoa!
Here it comes.
pop off that
Whoa!
yellow.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's a good sign when
Marcus!
they're
Marcus, hard!
on and off,
hard,
on
hard,
and
hard,
off.
hard, hard, hard,
Gets
hard,
by
hard.
the red guard. He hits the yellow. He freezes to it. Oh, now we'll find out.
Not good, eh?
I don't think he tapped him enough, did he?
It's enough, eh? Yeah.
Oh, they kicked the yellow one, so that one's out of it.
I didn't,
Or maybe that's.
that's good, eh?
I don't know. We can't
See
really
the-
tell.
Yeah, well, they moved the yellow one.
Oh, they're shaking hands, so they must have stole a couple more.
Nice game. Good luck.
All right, well,
There you go. Rittenour wink prevails.
first victory.
And the guy put in. I was
Mute those mics. Maybe we could shift over to sheet 3 and watch the Burr final end.
Yeah, we can see it from here.
Andrew Stapera's rink has covered up that 3 and 8th end.
Wilberg's got the hammer, though, huh?
Yeah. It'll be challenging.
Where's Wilberg from? Is he from Wisconsin somewhere?
Well, their rink is from Wisconsin, so Madison, great town. He's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. A friend of mine who works with us at Terrapin, he moved from Minneapolis to Green Bay, and he's a big Vikings fan. So we all gave him a lot of grief for moving to Green Bay. And whenever he says where he's from, he says he's from De Pere, which is like a suburb, or
right.
Because he doesn't want to say he's from Green Bay. So Graham delivers his second shot. Looks like it's nice. That nice like high guard.
Throwing another guard. You want to be just a little bit deeper than this top one here.
Yeah. Oh.
To set up that long and short
nice
scenario.
Weight.
Yeah, that's a beautiful rock.
Yeah. That goes back to what we were talking about on sheet 5.
Yep.
Boy, I tell you what, Rick over there has really got this thing nailed in. He's got their score up. Although the score says it's 4-3, and according to the board it's 4-4, so I don't know what that's all about.
He's going to hit this guard here.
One of the things that I was listening to a podcast, they were talking about that the five guard rule.
Yep.
And they said that they were debating on there's a lot of different proposals on ways to make the game a little bit more just to change the game. And one thing that they said that they could do is do something about removing tick shots.
Oh, make it illegal?
Yeah, and I was like, that's weird. Like,
people have gotten good at doing that.
It's
too.
like the type of hit. You know, like we're going to regulate the type of hit or shot you can do. Because for me, I'd probably start hitting that shot all the time by accident.
I don't know how you'd enforce that. I mean, because there's so many. Seems like there's an infinite possibility there. This is going to come up short.
Now we got the score updated. That's kind of a tuck there, eh?
No.
Well, look at how far his knee's way out.
I wouldn't call that a tuck, but I'd call that he just kind of leans forward on a.
Yeah. So that's probably not what he wanted to do, but it's still good.
No, that shot turned out good. But Andrew still has some rocks to work with here, so he's in good shape.
So in a situation like this, when it potentially the last end, do you hesitate going into the house?
Well, you don't want to do it too early because you want to develop some cover first. But
looks like he's going in now.
But when to go in is it's just kind of a feel for the skip, how the other team is playing, how your team is playing.
That rock had an interesting delivery to me, the way that his hand released it.
This looks like a good one if he doesn't wreck. Oh, he's by that one. That's good. Get it to the top of the button, boys.
Nice sweeping.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, nice bury there. If I had to sponsor one shot in this whole thing, that would have been the one.
That's not even touching the 4-foot though. That's not going to be the golden ticket.
Well, it's better than a poke in the eye.
Yeah, it's true.
So they're just going to try to clear out the front, I guess.
Yeah. Good one. 2 for 1.
I didn't know we allowed those Badger colors on the ice here in St. Paul. Of course, that'd be half our curlers wouldn't be able to be out there.
Right. Just throwing up another guard here.
Yeah, replace what was removed.
I think that's probably curling more than they wanted it to. That's fine though.
Yeah, it still protects that rock there.
He still has the whole left side of the house to draw to.
I wish I could zoom in on. Is that rock number 4 that's down there? I think. Either 3 or 4 on sheet 6 is the John Benton rock. I think. If I remember.
Oh yeah. The one he sponsored.
Yeah. He normally plays second, I think.
Yeah, leader second.
Oh, he's coming out with a lot of juice.
Yeah, they're trying to peel some stuff here. So it's just going to get the top
Stone's
one.
just crossing the.
Oh.
Well.
So now Andrew gets a chance to put one back even better.
So Wilbrook probably just wants to get it set up so he can just draw for the win.
Right. Keep that left side open. Just hit the 4-foot.
I think if I were Stapera at this point, I would start working on mental games. You know, try to get into the other skip's head.
Look, by doing what?
Well, I don't know. Some sort of threat.
Talking to him about the Moulin Rouge? Or
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So they got
Someone might be buying beer. No. Jeez. Talk about control. Just get that over.
That's
good, nice.
That's
yeah.
a good rock. I bet you the Stapera rink wish they would have swept that one a little bit.
You notice they have
in the
all
house.
the rocks are on the right side of the center line. What do they call that when it's all on the right side?
Bias towards the right.
It's a liberal house.
Or to the left. The liberal house.
No, it's a conservative house, right? Right wing, yeah, conservative house. Oh, here we come back with some fire.
Ooh, that was close.
They're not having. It's turning to be kind of tough. Now, why are they keep on putting the high guard in, as opposed to trying to come in?
That's a good question. Probably somebody smarter than me would have to answer that question. I mean, if you come in too close to the house, they could double the one off the.
Sure.
Off the 8-foot there.
We could probably find out. Pete's right behind you. We could probably find out what happened at the end there.
Yeah.
What happened at the when you guys shook down there? How?
My
They got one. We couldn't tell, like, there were so many rocks and the video quality isn't. We need a serious upgrade in video here at St. Paul, so.
We weren't positive if we could make it, but after it stopped, I think we probably could have. We had to just hair that guard.
Yeah. He didn't miss that guard by much, though.
All right, we're getting down to skip stones here. The last game.
He's probably just trying to throw up a similar guard here.
Doesn't seem like he has enough room for that. I suppose it's pretty, it's kind of a tough spot to try to steal one. Tense, T-E-N-T-S. Looks like they're happy about the weight. I'm just doing a little clean. And once again, the high guard. Looks like it came over a little bit.
Yep. Probably a little more than he wanted to.
Yeah. Maybe we could get someone to run the microphones down there right now. Just to get the last three rocks.
Probably shouldn't bother him.
I did think, so we were talking about doing, changes here, and I thought that it'd be kind of cool to figure out what kind of mic it would be that you could have mounted above, where we have the camera. If we did the camera up above and have a mic that could just cover the conversation that happens in the house, then you could just turn it on.
Why don't you have a combination camera and microphone on one of those wires like the NFL has, and just zing it down the
we
arena.
were thinking about doing a drone. One of our guys has a drone camera, and we were thinking about doing some drone footage.
Drone view.
But Maureen nixed that. She said that was against the rules or dangerous.
That'd be a little noisy.
Yeah. Do you think that it makes any difference now? Everybody's got off the ice and they're playing, so it probably cools down a little bit. The ice might.
Could change a little bit, yeah.
But it looks like they're going to do the same strategy here.
He's going to try and peel that top guard. If he's lucky, he gets a double. So he hit that exactly where he wanted it, except he left the guard up there, so.
Yeah. Well, Andrew still has to get around that and hide that.
How you doing, man?
They doubled. They hit the high guard, and it came off at an angle and doubled it out. Or not? Yeah. It's pretty impressive. It was cool. In fact, it probably is up on the video right now. This is a delay. Mr. Fensen stopped by and is criticizing our coverage. All right, so we got to go back a little bit. We got the wrong player.
Okay, it looks like Andrew's ready to throw his last rock here.
All right, you can watch that.
Trying to come around a long guard.
It's got plenty of weight.
Weight looks close to me.
Well, maybe it's a little light, I guess.
Oh no. This is going to be
wow.
really good.
Beauty.
This is going to be really good. That's really good.
Yep. Yeah, you can't ask for more than that.
Beauty.
As Bob and Doug say. Beauty, eh?
Beauty, eh? So Mr. Stopera is just biting the forefoot, but he doesn't leave Wilberg a lot of room to draw in from the other side because of the high guards up there.
Yeah, I wonder if he could get that out and just play another end.
I think I'd be tempted to throw the other turn, but he knows the ice better than I do.
Or does he? I would say you probably know this ice, not this particular ice, but the St. Paul ice better than most people.
Yeah, he must think it doesn't curl much on this side.
Yeah.
Looks like he's on the guard to me.
I got to sweep hard.
He is on the guard. Yeah, there wasn't enough room. So that's the end of the game. Andrew Stopera steals one to win the game.
That was a nice end. That was really fun. Well, Pete, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at noon, huh?
Yeah. Thanks, Rick, for doing the tech over there. We did a great job, and we'll see everybody else at noon.
I'm going to go eat some lunch.
All right. Bon appetit.